Also, I can't wait for some badass fight scenes. Been waiting for this. Oh, we know what the ending's gonna be. All the criteria to counter Aura, Frieren has it, and more. Let's go. Fern is like ChatGPT before ChatGPT. Do you see that perfect calculus in her eyes? No wavering, undetermined focus. Wow. Hello friends, my name is Benoit Kim, a UPenn educated psychotherapist, and I'll be decoding the human conditions and relevant psychological concepts from each video that I watch. So what does Frieren Beyond Journey's Ends episode 9 reveal about dominance hierarchies, distress tolerance, the power of mindfulness in everyday life, criminal psychology, I know you heard that right, the subtle art of manipulation, and how to fight these toxic environments and existentialism. As y'all saw, episode 7 and 8 got me really hyped and bothered. So can't wait to see what episode 9 is about. Let's get this started.
フリーレンだ。人類のゾルトラークの研究史上で最も多くの魔族を葬り去った魔法使い。
Right, so in episode 8, we remember that he remembered who Frieren the legendary mage is.
早々のフリーレン。私の嫌いな天才だ。
しばらくは安静ですな。
すまないな。
Wow, he's really bandaged up.
おい。大丈夫か？
お前たちのおかげで助かった。感謝する。連れの魔法使いの件も許そう。彼女の判断は正しかった。
I will also forgive the other matter with the other age. Bro, man, so far in episode 8, we realize that he's very rigid. You know, remember in episode 8, he made a joke about any disrespect towards me is a great offense in this city. Of course, he is the highest commander. Yes, I was in the military for 6 years. I get that. Chain of commands, courtesy, societal norms. Especially as Asians, we want to be respectful for our elders and those people of authorities. Of course, granted. At the same time, this is the first thing he talked about after you thanking these two for saving your life after the other mage literally helped make all of this happen and gave you that warning way before you even came too close to realization that you've been tricked, bro. You've been deceived. But now he's like, yeah, thanks for saving my life. But also, I guess I will forgive the offense of the other mage. This rigidity, in the psychological term, we call this cognitive rigidity. It's when people who are very inflexible and very rigid, unable to think past their frame of thinking. It's not always a good or a bad thing. However, in my own clinical experiences and life generally speaking, people who are very cognitively rigid, they're less open-minded. Or in other words, more closed-minded, they're less receptive to new information. They like to operate their life based on this outdated or very fixed, rigid framework. Because in my worldview, in the past however many years, life has always been this way. Therefore, in the future, no matter the drastic landscape changes, some viewers shared some really good feedback from earlier episodes where Frieren used to get lost in episode 1 and 2. It's not necessarily because she is directly challenged as I thought, it's because the world and the landscape is changing rapidly. That's parallelism with the world we live in right now in 2025. With AI revolution, deepfake, misinformation, disinformation, technology, post-industrialization times 1,000, and 1,000 other variables, the world is changing so fast. So it's very hard for older folks to adapt to it. But going back to this point, that's what cognitive rigidity is. Despite and in spite of the world and everything changing, because change is the only constant. Change is the only constant. People who are less able or less willing to adapt to these new changes, we call them, they're very rigid, but cognitively. That's cognitive rigidity. It's not necessarily a fixed forever, oh, I'm rigid because I was born with my genetics. World is over. I guess that's what it is. I have to fold my hands. We can fight that fate. We can actually cultivate our self-awareness through different techniques, tools, mental modeling, and so on to increase our flexibility. Because you want to be emotionally flexible, mentally flexible, and also cognitively flexible. People who are the smartest, people that I respect, people who are the most humble in academic settings or otherwise, are those who are very flexible with their thinking. They acknowledge what they don't know, and they double down on their expertise. But as soon as things are out of their realm of expertise or competency, we say, oh, I don't know, or it depends. We all need to have the ability, and I want to urge all of us to be more humble. Have the propensity to have this humility to say, I don't know. And that's being flexible. But in this case, this guy is very rigid. That's why he's calling back about the offense of the other mage after he got his life saved. Very funny.
これでフリーレンが町に戻ってこれるな。リュグナーたちを倒してもらおうぜ。
フリーレン様は衛兵を殺していなくて。
知っている。魔族がやったことだ。
He knows. The Earl knows.
あの魔法使い、フリーレンっていうのか？
Oh,
はい。
he knows who she
まさか
is?
勇者一行にいたエルフの魔法
Wow,
使い
legacy.
か。だとしたら無礼なことをしてしまった。
Yeah, you have.
グラナト家は勇者一行に恩がある。
The world owes them a great deal, bro. Come on.
に襲われた時、撃退してもらったんだ。その時の相手も七宝家断頭台のアウラだ。
What he just said that his grandfather's army and his grandfather's ruling of the city faced Lady the Aura even however long ago. So this kind of reminds me of the saying, history repeats itself. I want to actually challenge that quote a little bit. I think a better way of reframing that quote is history does not repeat itself. People, however, repeat themselves. It's not the history. If we think that, oh, history always repeats, what's the point of trying to make the world a better place? What's the point of conserving, I don't know, resources for a next generation? What's the point? Why bother? What's the point of altruism and altruistic acts if the history repeats itself? For me, personally, it feels very defeating. It's a self-defeating narrative. It's very, not just nihilistic, but very pessimistic to the core. So I think a better way to frame that as is, no, history doesn't repeat itself. Why? Because history is comprised of people, and people do make similar mistakes. And it reminds me of another favorite lyric of mine from Bon Jovi. The more things change, the more things stay the same. I know I'm contradicting myself, but I'm talking about the power of narrative, the stories we tell about ourselves and to ourselves about the world. And self-awareness is always the first step. As long as we are aware, we are already on the step of improvement and growth. And I think that's all we can try. But here, I just want to use that quote to highlight that in this case, similar history is repeating itself, not because history is fixed and it's all doom and gloom. It's because the demon, this great aura, Lady Aura, has not been defeated entirely. That's why she's back. So it's not the history that repeats itself. It's the people.
久しぶりだね、アウラ。
Oh, she's back. Let's go.
80
80 years?
フリーレン。
Also, I know I talked about it in episode 8. If you haven't seen it, check it out below so you're caught up to speed. And make sure you hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss any of the analysis. And this show is a masterpiece. So I'm going to try my best to deliver the master level analysis and commentary for you guys. So with that being said, I realized in episode 8 I talked about that demons are incapable of having any emotions. It's not that they don't want to. It's not that they think having these emotions are beneath them, because humans are prey and they're predators in their minds. It's rather they don't have the neurological abilities or even receptors in their brains. Yes, I will never be able to analyze a demon in real life or cut open their brains. Can you even cut open their brains? Or will they just dissipate into mana? What do you think? Comment below. It's not that they're unwilling. They're literally incapable of doing it. So in that sense, I wonder they also don't have the ability to feel fear or trembling. Because we've established here that Frieren is along with the party that defeated the Demon King, the ultimate boss. And Frieren also established in last episode when she was getting assassinated by the demon dwelling, even though he got killed in 2 hits. I guess he was a little bit scared, but even here, Frieren said that she was stronger than Lady Aura. But then Aura here is just making a joke. She's like, oh, long time no see. As if it's just like a backyard or a coffee shop conversation on a random Sunday. So I'm not really seeing any fear from Lady Aura's side. I wonder if that's a tactic on her side to make sure she doesn't want to show any fear because all of her dwellings and all her subordinates are behind her. Or is it rather that for higher level demons, they're incapable of also feeling fear? Because even in earlier episodes with the flashback where Himo the hero regretted not killing that little demon girl, do you guys remember that? Where she ended up slaying the village head because she faked the empathy of, oh, my mother. That was, remember she said, oh, I thought the word mother was the best word because it saves them from being killed. And even in that little girl, we didn't really see any fear until she was dying. She was just saying that, oh, what a wonderful word, as she was literally dissipating into mana black particles. So I wonder if demons are incapable of any emotions, including fear. Because fear is the primary emotion for all humans. Why? Without fear, we would not have survived and evolved to this current age.
引き返してくれるとありがたいんだけど。嫌よ。なんで？
I guess this little small fighting is like small talk. Kind of pointless, but you do it anyway.
私の方が圧倒的に優勢だから。
Oh, please.
そう。あの時より。
I want to highlight another really important subtle point here for Frieren's, and I know her name is pronounced Frieren. A lot of viewers and a lot of people made me aware, but I'm 9 episodes in, guys. I can't go back now. I know it's Frieren, but I'm going all the way to Frieren. Okay, bear with me. I'm going all the way. Frieren here is so calm, and we know that she's not faking it. She's not fronting. She's lived too long to fake it. Think about how savage she is with her commentary, right? Just with her back and forth, she's very straight to the point. So we know that I don't know if she's incapable of lying or she just doesn't lie. So either or. She's very calm here. Just like in the last episode, she talked about, if I get captured in the city, it's execution. Oh, what a pain. And she walked out before calling out Fern and Stark, saying that, oh, you're gonna avoid fighting because they're strong, before giving them and imparting them with wisdom and encouragement of, I don't think you guys are weaker. You guys got this. And that really helped them. That's why Fern and Stark decided to go rescue the Earl. Similarly here, Frieren is also so calm, despite air quote being overwhelmed by the undead army or Hellas armor, whatever resurrected army. It's not because she is faking it. It's because she has this absolute, total, undetermined confidence that her life is not at stake and she's unfazed. Besides for being really cool and having the biggest plot armor in show history, right? She's just so confident because that's what confidence is. When you look back in your life, you have undeniable amount of proof that whatever you set your mind to, you will follow through and you can do it. And we're not talking about succeeding and failing. That's a very poor dichotomy and a very limited framework. Not everything in life is about success or failure. You did it or you didn't. It's about the effort. But in this case, Frieren is so confident under seemingly life and death scenario because she has undeniable amount of proof. When she looked back at her archives of behaviors and life. Proof is there that she has nothing to be afraid of. Why? Because she defeated the Demon King. And she is probably the most powerful mage that's alive so far. Maybe before she sees some other older elves maybe down the road. So that's what confidence is. Confidence is you have this undeniable faith in your ability to do things that you set your mind to. But it's not delusion because there's ample amount of proof. That's the confidence we need to strive for. Not this fake con man scammer confidence.
これほどの数を操るだなんて魔族の魔法はとんでもない。
She's still admiring the magic.
魔法技術では想像もつかないほどの高みだ。
Humans' magic can never ascend to such heights. This is not a diss or a judgment on humanity's magic. It's just the sheer discrepancies and gap between the longevity of demons who can devote way more amount of years and time to develop and master a craft of magic. Whereas for humans, average lifespan is 80, 90 years old? And you're not devoting yourself to improving magic when you're 90 years old in bed, barely walking, right? But I want to highlight the undertone. Humanity's magic on the surface seemingly can never ascend to the heights of demonic magic. However, humans have this amazing collective ability, this collectivism that demons or elves or no other species have. Think about the great Egypt. Think about the great pyramids of Egypt. Think about all these amazing feats and wonders humans were able to create and invent. Think about how fragile humans are. Have you seen a video of a little cattle, like a baby cow, when they get literally birthed out of their mother's womb? They literally start walking after a couple licks by their mothers, and they literally start walking and wandering after maybe a few minutes. Do you know how fragile human babies are when we're born? We have to be NICU, be incubated, all these things. And human babies are literally useless until a certain age, because that's the natural developmental stage of humans. So for how fragile we are, yet we became the most dominant apex predators ever reign this planet Earth. Yes, there's theories about we're not the first humanity. There were also ancient civilizations. Graham Hancock, a famous researcher in that context, so on and forth. But my point is, humanity might be seemingly weak. Our magic may not match or ascend up to the magic of demonic level. But we have this collective ability to transcend our individual limitations. That's the amazing nature of humans, and that's why we are who we are. And I hope Frieren highlights that point here. If not, I did.
悪い魔法だ。ヘドが出る。ひどいよね。せっかく頑張って集めたのに。
Also, I can't wait for some badass fight scenes. Been waiting for this.
いくつかあるね。
Oh no.
アウラ。
Fallen
やっぱり
heroes?
お前はここで殺さないとダメだ。
わしらが長年アウラに勝てなかった要因だ。奴が。七宝剣の魔法は人知も人の断りも超える。
It might be beyond human comprehension, but good thing, luckily for the Earl, now their opponent, or as Gen Z kids call it, the op, is Frieren. She's not a human, and her capacity and legendary nature transcends even of Lady Aura. Why? Because she helped defeat the Demon King, period. And I want to quickly talk about the subtle art of manipulation. Of course, in this show, I'm guessing that Aura rules her, subordinates and whatever little demons underneath her through fear, the power of submission, and power. Fear-based ruling only lasts a short duration, short term. I'll say that again. Fear-based ruling works in short term. But value-led leadership always wins in the long term. Always. Look at all the dynasties, all the Roman empires, all the Qing dynasty, Han dynasty in China. because I spent 7 years in China, even though I'm Korean American. A lot of those dynasties, aside from lust, corruptions, and so on, a lot of them toppled because they were ruled by fear, by dictatorship. They never last too long. Of course they work. Look at the Middle East. Dictatorship does work because it's fear. You don't obey me, you disobey me, death. I will kill your entire family. In Chinese dynasties thousands of years ago, if you disobey the king or commit a treason, they don't just kill you. They don't just kill your immediate family. They kill your entire lineage. I mean the grandparents, parents, the offsprings, the entire lineage, all the cousins, distant families, they wipe your entire lineage out. It's complete eradication or almost micro-genocide. So yes, fear-based ruling works. But in the long term, look at democracy. United States is not perfect. We all know that. But it's still one of the safest and the most prosperous countries in the world ever because it's not always fear-based. Of course, we use military tactics. We bomb the Middle East for oil and all these other things that they're not always proud of. Of course, yes. No country is perfect. But relatively speaking, America is not ruling by fear. It's ruling by values, democracy, by the people, for the people. So I'm pretty sure that's how Aura establishes her dominance. And that's what I mean in the introduction. Dominance, hierarchy. There's hierarchies to the level of dominance, and they all are seemingly similar in the short term. Everyone's listening to you, aren't they? But in the long term, it's very different. So fear-based leadership works only in the short term and maybe midterm. But values-led leadership always wins, period. And that's the dichotomy of the villain in this episode, Lady Aura, and the hero, Frieren.
アウラは天秤に自身と対象の魂を乗せ、魔力の大きかった方が相手を服従させ操り人。
So she has to kill them first.
その体が朽ちてなくなるまで永遠に
All eternity. So they can't even rest even after dead? Damn.
大なものにする。絶大な魔力を持つアウラにとっては必勝の魔法だ。
We did see a glimpse of the immense amount of mana that Lady Aura has. I don't know why I'm calling her Lady Aura. I'm not a demon, insubordinate. Aura's mana is immense because Frieren previously in episode 8 sends her mana presence from 10 kilometers away. So we do know that as a fact. But the question is, how much more immense and immeasurable is Lady Frieren's mana? Now I'm calling Frieren Lady too. What's going on? I need more coffee. But comment below. Can anyone share without spoilers, based on maybe some subplots or backgrounds, that what is Frieren's mana capacity? And is there a limit to her capacity? Or is it like a growth mindset? It just keeps growing. The more spells she collects, the more practices she put in. I'm curious.
アウラの魔力の重さで傾いてはいるが、元は公平な天秤だ。アウラに打ち勝てるだろうさ。
So there is a counter.
だが、そんなことはアウラが七宝剣の座に君臨してから500年。
Damn, 500 years.
では、
Wow.
対抗手段は何もないのですか？
本当はあったんだがな。
Is that his
意志
grandfather?
の強い者は一時的ではあるが抵抗ができた。
That is his grandfather. Same emblem.
秘訣ほど持ち合わせている。
Same sword
それで
too.
も一時的か。
だが致命的な欠陥だ。奴はその意志が邪魔だったんだろうさ。
Frieren has that iron will.
断頭台のアウラは
We know what the ending's gonna be. All the criteria to counter Aura, Frieren has it and more. Let's go. Frieren is so chill, so nonchalant. She got a free haircut though. Let's go. Let's go. What's she doing? Draining their mana?
驚いたわ。私のかけた魔法が
Nullified.
こんなことは初めてだわ。これほど強力な解除魔法、魔力の消費も相当なものになるはず。
Or does it?
してこんな
For
回り
Frieren?
くどいことをするの？前に戦った時は派手に吹き飛ばしていたじゃない。
後でヒンメルに怒られたんだよ。
I love this, I guess, time capsule moment. Aura said that last time he blasted them away. Because remember, maybe they're not fully dead, or it's a very disrespectful thing to do to the corpse of the fallen heroes. As a veteran myself, I can 100% relate to that. You always want to bury them with the respect for their willingness to fight until death for their country. Period. I don't care about your political stance on the military. We all need to pay tribute and respect to those who have fallen before us, no matter military, first responders, or otherwise. And of course, yes, Frieren got an earful, but this is also her astonishing ability to implement feedback with humility, internalize it, think about it, process it, and then make it happen into actionable items. This is another aspect of her personality development. She has grown emotionally, psychologically, but also in life. She is showing her improvement and growth and evolution through actions. Words are cheap, but your behavior patterns and your actions will never betray yourself, because when you do it consistently long enough, if you're a fraud, people will see it right through you. But if you're so consistent to a point, if you smell like a duck, walk like a duck, quack like a duck, you're probably a duck. In this case, Frieren has once again demonstrated through this quick glimpse of the level of evolution and maturity she has gone through. Amazing. And definitely some digital flowers to Himmel the hero. As we all know, even in episode 9 so far, most, if not all, of Frieren's memory recall was entirely centered around Himmel the hero. Everything. So we know Himmel played an instrumental role in her development. So shout out to Himmel, rest in power. But amazing to see that Frieren, this almighty, amazing, powerful, legendary mage, has this humility to be receptive towards the feedback of other people. And she thinks about it, and she implements it accordingly. Amazing.
ならますますこんなことをする必要ないでしょ。
どうして？
ヒンメルはもういないじゃない。
See, demons don't get it.
やっぱりお前たち魔族は化け物だ。容赦なく殺せる。
Facts.
になってきたな。神父様、ここは安全なんだよな。
ええ、防護結界ほどではありませんが、
Nice.
この教会にも結界が施されています。
じゃあ伯爵はここで待ってろ。
クソガキ、お前何するつもりだ。
こんなところで隠れていたら魔族が帰ってくれるのか。
シュタルク様、本気ですか？あの時は不意打ちが偶然成功しただけです。現にとどめをさせるほどの隙はありませんでした。もしあのまま戦っていたら、殺されていたのは私たちの方です。
They're very self-aware.
これは誰かがやらなきゃいけないことだろう。
Even, I just got some goosebumps. Even Fern's little mouth movement, because she's been a mentee and she's accompanied and she's been raised a lot by Frieren after the bishop passed away. Even her mouth subtle movements is now similar and mimicking Frieren. And this is not just unique to them. This is the reason why even in couple therapy or in relationships, we often say that people who've been married or been together for a long time, they start to resemble each other's features. We're not saying that their faces change and morph, okay? But we are saying that their energy, their presence, their mannerism, their body language, their facial features start to assimilate and resemble each other. Because we are the average of the closest 5 people around us. We are the culmination and we are the byproduct of our environment. So we of course are going to be assimilate and replicate those who are the closest. So it's just a quick observation that Fern's even body language is starting to mimic Frieren's. but another digital flowers and huge shout out to Stark. Sir Stark. He is the perfect symbolism that being afraid, being scared is okay. You can be scared shitless. That's okay. But do it anyway. Because remember, I talked about this in episode 8. It's only courageous in light of fear. In absence of fear, there can be no courage. And Stark is a perfect demonstration of the hero's journey, the archetypical storytelling. He is the perfect hero. He wasn't born with the plot armor. Maybe he wasn't as powerful as Himo the hero yet. But he's demonstrating this deep philosophical undertone that's all humans are. We start off fragile, weak, entirely dependent on our caregivers and parents and grandparents. But through life, through synthesizing life's lessons, internalizing it, leaning on each other, finding your own community, finding your own people, and you're growing through life's journey. And this is the school of life. You weren't meant to start with a perfect 100% in your testing in the school of life. You start small, incremental. The book by Atomic Habits by James Clear. All we need to do is strive for 1% incremental progress. Think about it. If we can strive for 1% growth every single day, after 365 days, yes, leap year, 366 days, that's 365% growth. If you just aim for 1% growth every single day, don't be crazy audacious. 1% growth. You'd be 300% better than when you started. And that is Stark. The perfect symbolism and demonstrations of the personality of the personal development process and how all of us should be strive for. I'm gonna call him Sir Stark right now. Respect.
そうですね。では一緒に頑張りましょう。
いや、フェルンは衛兵の詰め所に行け。
Oh wow, he's like, I got this.
シュタ
Delegation.
ルク様は
That fist moment.
俺は全力で土下座してフリーレンを連れ戻してくる。なんだよ、もう倒してもらうしかねえだろ。
I'm dead. Oh man.
確かにその方が
あ
現実的ですね。
It's too funny, dude. I take that back. I'm gonna call him Stark.
聞いてくれるってよ。
わかりました。
俺はすぐ街を出る。どうした？
腕、ひどい状態ですね。そんな姿で城門を通れるんですか？
大丈夫だろ
う。Frieren is capable of being empathetic.
両手血まみれで街中歩いてる戦士なんて見たことないですよ。
第一、人のこと言えねえだろ。
Wow, they did get hurt pretty badly just from that brief fight.
これ誰の血だ？俺の血じゃないよな。おい
Wait, what?
なんだ
Blood tracker. Oh, she's astute.
シュタルク様、この力魔力が。
Oh, shit. 1 second too late. Dang. It's a warrior demon? Wow, blood magic is useful.
そいつは師匠の技だ。
What?
下手に動いたせ
Wow.
るつもりはなかったのだがな。
I wasn't planning to make you suffer. Oh, thanks, bro. Thanks for being so kind and so compassionate. But shout out to Fern. She has come a long way as apprentice mage. Respect.
何を驚いている？致命傷を負ったはずの私がここに立っていることか？それとも我々
Does she look surprised? I thought she looked calm with that little crackly of a smile.
魔力の制御による存在の隠匿など君だけの才覚とはいえ魔法使い同士の戦いに似つかわしい行為だとは
Oh, please.
到底思えんがな。
よく喋りますね。
I have a question for everyone watching. I've been speculating since episode 1, end of episode 1 and 2, when Fern first came to the scene. I speculated that she comes from a whole list of adverse childhood experiences, or ACEs, childhood trauma. Of course, we know that she was barely rescued by the bishop before reminiscing about her death parents and so on. So we know she has a lot of trauma. And I can sort of glimpse into her depressive state. I already analyzed that previously, so I won't go back into it. And again, when you're depressed, you show less emotional expression, facial expression. You're more aloof. Not because you don't love people or care about it as much. It's just because you have decreased energy. That's literally what depression means. Depressed. This also reminds me of my favorite adage in mental health. Expression is the opposite of depression. What doesn't get expressed gets depressed. But in this case, I'm curious why Fern is so calm. We know that she doesn't have that confidence that Frieren has, because we know that she's not as powerful, and she knows that. So it's not confidence. Is this her aloofness towards life? Is it that she just prepared to die because she almost jumped off the cliff many moons ago before the bishop saved her? Why is she so calm here? How is she able to be so calm and composed in this life and death scenario? I'm curious, what do you guys think? Oh, that looks painful. She's so calm. Almost seems lifeless a little bit.
あの小僧は強いのか？
戦士アイゼンの一番弟子です。
ろくな死に方はしない。
What does that mean? Does she know Aizen, or she can replicate techniques?
この町から逃げましたよ。あなたたちが老番の衛兵を殺したせいです。
グラナト伯爵も言っていたな。衛兵殺しは罪が重いらしい。
Apparently, murdering someone is a severe crime. Everything comes out of his mouth really solidifies the fact that demons are beasts and monsters. Full stop.
あの女がその程度のことで逃げるものか。
Yeah, she's not running. She's going to defeat your boss.
魔族を殺すための魔法を自分の弟子に叩き込むほどに。はずない。何か狙いがある。
Summon that. Come on, get that wand. Yes, there you go. Nice.
アウラ様か。
You're distracted and you talk a lot.
動かないでください。
Also, are there, I guess, conditions and limitations to mages? Do mages have to have their wands and weapons to fight? I guess warriors also need their knives and axes to fight, but they could do hand combat fighting. Or I don't know. I'm just talking out loud, but I noticed that Fern needed the wands to cast any spell. So I wonder if there's any constraints or conditions that mages have to abide by. Since any natural world, I know that's ironic because this is a supernatural setting, but any natural worlds have conditions that's innate to the mechanisms of the natural world we live in. So I wonder if those mechanism also applies here. What do you guys think?
くだらんことを。
私を殺し損ねたというのは嘘ですよね。あなたは私にあの不意打ちの石返しがしたかったんです。
Wow.
プライドが高くて傲慢で、
Wow.
未だに私たちを、
Wow.
フリーレン様以外を脅威とすら感じていない。だから私に隙を与えるような真
I
似
never
を
even
した。
thought about that. Everything out of his mouth is a lie.
この至近距
Deception.
離なら
Makes
あ
sense.
なたの
I mean,
心臓を打ち抜けます。
やってみろ。その前にお前の首が飛ぶ。
stalemate?
フリーレン様、私はお役に立てていますか？なんでそんな
Aww.
ことを聞くの？
Seeking approval because of her trauma and loneliness.
今ほど魔法を完璧に扱いません。
As perfectly as you? A quick ad note. Guys, could we stop striving for perfectionism, please? Perfectionism is a disguise against you trying. Perfectionism is an excuse to stop you from trying. Because by using the word perfectionism as an excuse, because it is an excuse, you can justify the fact that, oh, I don't want to try that thing. I didn't want to follow my dream. I don't want to seek discomfort to become the person I want to become. Why? Because I cannot do it perfectly. Do you know what I tell my clients? Only people that are perfect are dead people. And Jesus Christ. Shout out to you, Jesus. But for real though, only people that are perfect and flawless and without any mistake are people who are dead. Perfectionism is an illusion. It's only going to stop you from your growth and the potential that you're able to achieve. So let go of perfectionism. I know it's not easy to do, of course not. But let's start with awareness. Perfectionism should not be an armor we wear around. Let it go. Instead of perfectionism, strive for effortfulness. Effort is the only thing we can try. But right here, I think that's what Frieren is also trying to say here too.
これは生きてきた時間の違いだから、
Much longer.
フェルンが私に追いつくことはないよ。
Literally. Mm.
私はよく魔物との戦闘をフェルンに任せているでしょ。はい、今回も押し付けられました。フェルンが戦った方が早く終わるんだよ。私よりも魔法を打つのが早いから。
Man, Frieren is such a great mentor. She is honest. She never sugarcoat things. She never fluff things up. And this is a very subtle, very nuanced point. As a leader, as a mentor, as actually anyone for that matter, you don't want to sugarcoat things. You don't want to fluff things up just to make other people feel better. For that short duration, for that time being, it leaves you away from that discomfort of being honest. But in the long run, it's detrimental to your relationship and your credibility. Why? If you fluff things up, if you have this tendency, this habituation, this habit of fluffing things up further away from reality and truth, do you know what that creates? A culture of mistrust. People over time will soon realize, because people are not stupid, is, oh, my mentor likes to sugarcoat things because he or she doesn't want to make me feel vulnerable or feel bad. Yes, I appreciate the intent. But to be credible, to create a culture of trust, you have to be consistent. You have to be honest. You have to be truthful. And Frieren has mastered truthfulness. We know that since episode 1. In addition to that, Frieren also encourages her truthfully her nuanced other aspects of strength. She's saying that, hey Fern, you'll never get to my level in terms of accumulation of mana pool and the amount of spells you know. Because I literally live 100 times longer, 1,000 times longer as you do. Instead, focus on your strength. You cast magic faster than I do, therefore you can conserve magic or mana better than I do. There are other management techniques and other nuanced aspects you can double down on as an amazing mage, which you are. So don't try to compare yourself, your weakness against my strength. Double down on your strength. Frieren is an exceptional mentor, exceptional leadership, amazing.
小娘、私は魔法に人生の
Also, did she just daydream in a life and death scenario?
そうです。
Mindfulness, power of mindfulness matters. It's life and death, like when you're driving. Nice. Defense magic?
この反応速度は
Wow, she does react fast.
いなければ心臓を撃ち抜かれていた。
Wow, she does cast magic real fast.
やはり心臓が弱点ですか。
Oh, she's astute. What an observer. Wow.
なるほど。
Shout out to Bishop and Frieren.
全力で叩き潰してやろう。バルテーリエ。
Yo, I feel bad for this demon because he's like, I despise prodigies. Frieren was one. Flamade, a legendary mage, mentor to Frieren, was another prodigy. Plus, of course, they work hard. Guys, prodigies don't mean they don't try hard. They're naturally more gifted than most. Ergo, prodigies And they work really hard. Look at Elon Musk. He's a genius. He literally has Asperger's syndrome. He's literally neurologically a genius, and he works harder than anyone. Like seriously, read his biography, right? But here, I feel bad for the demon because he is facing yet another lineage of prodigy, Fern. Man, I hope he gets annihilated. Go, Fern.
向こうも始まったか。しかし残念だな。
Hmm?
こっちはもう終わりだ。
Damn. Stark,
完
my
成でもす
guy.
るかな。リュグナー様、邪魔すると怒るんだよね。おや、
Hmm?
しぶといね。少しは楽しめそうだ。
魔
Wow.
力も技術もコントロールも私の方がはるかに上。
But her control, though, her calculation, her calculus is amazing. Wow. Is she nullifying them? Finally, some amazing action scenes. Let's go. Oh. Where'd she go?
ゴム
He's so arrogant, dude. I hope you die, bro.
早い。純粋に手数でこの私が押されている。
Look at her composition. Her composure is amazing. Wow.
フリーレンめ、この小娘にどんな修行を叩き込んだ。
World class training. Come on, dude. Boot camp of Frieren. Sign me up. He does talk a lot. I know it's inner monologues, but still. Yo, I know, quick interruption with the fight scenes. Fern is like ChatGPT before ChatGPT. Do you see that perfect calculus in her eyes? No wavering, undetermined focus. Wow.
ダメだ。その
Ooh. Let's go. He needs her. What a loser, bro. He's like, I far exceed her in mana technique and whatever. Hey, what are you doing? Help me out. Come on, bro. Sit down, be humble. Kendrick Lamar.
なんだよ、わがままだな。こいつ防戦一方でしつこいんだよ。
Nice. Remember, Stark's role is to buy time. Ooh. Ooh. Little scratch by the face, I'm guessing.
そのまのさばき。
Yeah.
どういうことだ。
人が動いている時の体内の魔力の流れを
What?
記憶して動きを模倣できるんだよね。
Wow. That's a cool demonic art. But she's imitating. She'll never supersede the originality. Ooh. Damn. Yo, that was like a Matrix move. Dodging bullets.
屋敷で初めてあなたの動きを見私が昔記憶した最強の戦士と同じ
Unrivaled warrior. Damn. Ison, let's go.
こんな偶然あるんだね。運命は面白い。
Faith is a curious thing. Wow.
私は戦士アイゼンの動きを模倣している。
Let's go, Stark. You got this.
なんだよ。めちゃくちゃじゃねえか。
You're gonna fire him up, dude.
こんなの勝てるはず。
Oh shit. Oh, that moment of self-doubt. Dang.
ようやく倒れたか。急がないとまたリュグナー様に怒られる。
I want to quickly re-highlight the power of mindfulness. We saw 2 glimpses in this episode alone that Fern was daydreaming very briefly, about her conversation with Frieren however long ago. And Stark here, again, he had a moment of lapse of judgment, not because he doesn't care about the fight, not because he's aware that this is a life and death scenario. Instead, it's because his lack of mindfulness. And that's what mindfulness is. Mindfulness is not necessarily meditation or in a meditative state. Mindfulness is, simply put, you're in such an immersive, mindful state about the present, where you are, your feet touching the ground, your surrounding, you're aware of your surroundings, the sound, the sense, the sensation. And this is the most effective yet simple grounding techniques I do clinically with all my clients. If you're feeling a little bit anxious, a little bit maybe scatterbrained all over the place, just do this. 3 steps. Step 1, plant both of your feet onto the ground. Close your eyes and really zoom in to the texture and the tactile sensation of your feet touching the firmness of the ground. This is to effectively pull you from the present or to the present. Step 1. Step 2, listen to your heartbeat. Zoom into the rhythm of your heart, the beating, the rhythm, the drum. This is to remind you that you're alive because you're here in the now. Step 3, repeat this process for about 30 seconds to a minute and a half. That's the minimum effectiveness or efficacy window. And open your eyes and see how you feel. And remember, guys, grounding is important and being mindful is important because, generally speaking, anxiousness is because we're ruminating and worry about the future. Depression is because we're ruminating and worrying about the past. Depression creeps in when we're thinking about the past, our mistakes, our guilt, our shame. Oh, we could have, should have, would have. All the things that happened to us, the trauma that's larger than life, larger than beyond our control. Anxiety happens because we're living in the future. What should I do next? Tomorrow, after this meeting. Oh, I have all these things, laundry, paying the bills, job, performance review, and so on. Future will always be there. The past will never go away. And we have to be rooted in the present, the power of now. That's why we call the present the gift that keeps on giving. So I try it out. Try this mindfulness 3-step process. And there are so many other free mindfulness resources online on YouTube. But it's because Stark didn't master. Well, mastering is hard since I've been doing daily meditation for 20 minutes every day for more than 5 years now. And I still have my unmindful moments. Of course, it's not perfect. Again, it's not about perfectionism. It's about effortfulness and attempts. But here, it's a poignant example that Stark and Fern, but thankfully Fern is stronger, but Stark missed that mindfulness moment briefly with that self-doubt and self-judgment. This negative self-talk. How can I possibly beat this demon who's replicating or mimicking my master's techniques? So he went from the present moment of fighting, defending really well, to daydreaming. And then he got slashed and he was defeated. So power of mindfulness.
倒れた。俺は倒れているのか。
Oh man, flashback.
どんなにボロボロになっても倒れることだけは許さん。
Nice. It's that inner mentor in him. That's amazing. You can tell Aizen was a great mentor too.
当たり前だ。俺はお前より強い。
じゃあ。
だが、お前はまだ負けていない。シュタルク、強い相手に勝つ秘訣を教えてやる。
Life is not about avoiding falls. Life is not about always standing upright and moving forward. That's not how life works. The force of life, the current of life, the sequence of life is larger than we are, period. We do not get to exert our willpower and bend life to our will. Then we will be gods, but we are not. So falling and failing is inherent and innate characteristic of this mysterious larger than thing that we call life. Instead, try to fail forward. Try to fall forward. In that case, even if you fall, when you get back up, you've made some incremental progress and process towards where you want to get to. And that's what Aizen the warrior is saying here. Don't worry about falling. I'm stronger than you are. Of course I'm going to beat you. Falling is fine. Get back up. So fail forward.
簡単だ。何度でも立ち上がって技を叩き込め。
Failing forward. Because they're tanks. You gotta protect the mages, you know? And the healers.
変な理論を押し付けやがって脳みそ筋肉でできてんじゃねえのか
おとなしく寝て
Maybe
ればよかった
dwarfs' brains might be full of muscles.
もう負けたんだから
Even though brains literally a muscle.
俺はまだ立っているそれに思い出したんだ師匠の技はもっと重い
Let's go.
やっぱりお前のはただの真似事だ
Just an imitation. You're not the original. Copycat.
ならその真似事で引導を渡し
Let's go. Crescendo moments. Oh, whoa, fireworks.
ぶり防御もなし
Wow. Do not underestimate Stark. Let's go. Lightning strike. It's like that character from Demon Slayer. She's dead, bro. And you got distracted. Let's go.
ソルトラーク
Nice. Wow, so satisfying. Holy crap. But see, even that, the Luger got distracted. Mindfulness. That's why he got killed. I cannot wait for episode 10. Man, the climax. Anyway, so if you found my analysis and reaction helpful and looking for personalized support, smash that thumbs up. Hey Ken, Scratch, we'll do it again.
No, I don't think I will.
If you found my analysis and reaction helpful, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. You don't want to miss the next episode, and comment what you thought about the video and my perspective. This is my first take and I've never seen this before. And also, if you're looking for personalized support, you can also email me at discovermorepodcast@gmail.com to see how we can possibly work together. Till next time, friends.